Hey everybody, welcome back to the Air Warfare Group. This is Juice. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a taxi tip video to follow up with the earlier video I did a few weeks ago. And a lot of you pointed out something that I totally overlooked and forgot to mention is about releasing the tail wheel for tight turns in the Mustang. But I'm going to add that to this video as well as some other tips on when you should have that wheel free and when you should have it clear when you need to do that. And it'll help you keep from ground looping as I see some of my friends do, and I occasionally do sometimes too. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and remove the brakes. I've got my controls indicator up. There we go, brakes are off. Now I'm going to hold them. Now if you look at the controls indicator on the lower left and everything, you'll see my controls right there. I've got, here is the rudder at the bottom. This is the pedals back and forth. If you've got a twist stick, this is what it should look like. Now, the hard thing is if you don't have rudder pedals with a slider for brake pedals, you really can't do this unless you use some other type of slider or depress. Now, if you use the analog brake, like I'll push W on the keyboard, you would basically have to tap it. If you're using a paddle switch, you have to tap it to get the effect you want. So like if you just press and hold it, it's going to go all the way up and lock your brakes up and stuff. So over here I'm going to hit the brakes. Over here on the far lower left is the throttle. And I don't know if you guys can see that with your telephone, with your mobile phone or your computer monitor, but basically you can see the throttle moving up and down. And then of course in the middle of the crosshairs is my stick axis right there. Pitch, roll. And then we got the yaw at the bottom, as I mentioned. So let's go ahead and get started. So brakes are off. We are good. Let's see, we're at 40 degrees C on the temp, so I'm going to go ahead and taxi. I have the radiators on the ground. I'm going to open them all the way up. So if you look over here on the rudder, right above the rudder turn wheel and above the trim wheel, I'm going to hold those for a few seconds forward. There, open them up a little bit to keep some cooling on the ground. Now, I want to thank Reflected Simulations for his awesome P-51 TF-51D Mustang video, which was awesome. It came out about a month ago. I will link it in the description below, and I'll also put a link to it at the end of this video. So if you watch it all the way through, it'll pop up at the end to click on it. Remember, you can always watch our videos all the way through. There are no ads at the end. We don't try to get you to watch a TV show or anything and stuff. So with this, we're already started, so we'll close the starter switch. Everything else is good. Our radio is set. We've gotten clearance to taxi, and everything is clear. So first thing we'll do is we'll leave the stick in neutral right here. We'll leave it there, and we'll push up a little bit and get the airplane rolling. Now I've got my feet on the pedals. I've got the MFG Crosswind pedals. Now I can turn a little bit right here, but that's about it until I unlock the wheel. And if I unlock the wheel and just give a little tap on the right brake, now I'll counter that tap with the left brake. See how I'm countering that? Now I've got the stick back to neutral to lock the wheel. Now watch this. If we're on a long straightaway and we're doing the stagger or the weaving taxi, so we can look out out the canopy on both sides to see what's in front of us every now and then. And we can see that it's clear all the way up. Now I have FaceTrackNOIR, but if you've got VR, you can actually stick your head through the canopy plexiglass while it's closed. So I have not unlocked the tail wheel. I've got it in line, locked. You get about 10 to 15 degrees turn on that. But when you're turning tight, so right now I still haven't unlocked it. See the stick still in the neutral position. I've even got my hand off the stick for right now. And it helps to be familiar with the airfield too. That's a good bonus plus. All right, so let's go over here. It's a beautiful day here on the Normandy 2 map. If you guys haven't owned any World War II maps and you're into warbirds and everything like that, definitely save up and get this one. It's worth it. I tell you what, I wish this would have came out first. I would have bought this in a heartbeat. But I bought Normandy 1 and then the channel map because I like the channel map textures a lot better. Now, here we're coming up on a tight turn here. Let's see what we can do. So if I go out wide here like this, and then I haven't unlocked the wheel yet, and this will save you a lot of headaches on the ground. You don't have to push that stick forward all the time, just when you're trying to turn tight. So what we're going to do is let's go pretend we're taxiing in after a flight. Check our temperature's good, about 42. tap the brakes. Let's get started. Right here, I'll go from a stop. There we go. I'll hold the stick forward to unlock the wheel. Get the aircraft rolling. And now I'm tapping the brakes. I'm using differential braking to get us into this parking stand right here. I don't know what you guys call these, but in the Air Force we used to call these hard stands. They're kind of hard surface that stand out by themselves. Alright, now with the brakes on, I'm going to push the stick forward, and now I'm going to hold the right brake only, and I'm just going to spin around here in the hard stand until I get pointed out again. Counter with the left brake. There we go. So now I've got the stick back to neutral. Now I'm going to push forward because there might be a little bind on the stick. Let's get going. Yep. A little bind on the wheel there. Alright, now let's reduce it. Alright, coming out of a T intersection like this, let's check our right, make sure everybody's coming. And then I'll go ahead and push the stick forward again. And then we're turning around. Just giving a little bit of power. Remember, one of the crucial things that I always tell people on any aircraft is when you apply some power during taxi or during speed changes and everything, make sure you reduce that power or go back to the same power state you were at before to maintain that. Now, if you watch Reflected's video, you'll see about how he always taxis around using the brakes at 1,000 RPMs to keep the plugs from fouling, and that's a good idea too. Every now and then I'll goose the engine just like I used to in my Cessna when I come in on a long landing. Long straightaway for an ILS approach or something. So now I'm going to go ahead and just use the locked tail wheel, and you can see our arc turning there, how much we're turning. Alright, so that's pretty much the video. I will let you guys watch me take off and crash. So I'm going to go ahead and go to auto on the whatchamacallit, on the radiator and oil cooler, and now I'm going to go ahead and push it up slowly. Remember, Reflected will tell you this. You don't want to jam the throttle up there. Well, let's watch out for those. Hope we don't crash into. Oh, there it is. Good. I found out the hard way that I blew up one time crashing into a bush under one of those hard things. All right. I didn't do anything to the stick. The nose just finally went down and the tail came up. I just gave it like a couple seconds of forward trim. With that, gear up. And let's close canopy. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or if you need any other assistance, definitely join us over at 4YA on Fridays at 2100Z, or just pop in there, jump in their Discord, and ask to talk to anybody about warbirds. So we'll come back on the throttle. Now come back on the RPMs. And we'll climb at about 2650. Alright, I hope you guys liked the video. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.